Yeah, good afternoon.
Sorry, I'm not interested.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Only our, B division students, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. Can you see the screen?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, 1 second. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So, which is the subject?
DBMS.
DBMS. Can anyone tell the full form?
Database management system.
Yes. So, this is the first question for database. Everybody has a book with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, note down the question. First one. What is DBMS? Written?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the full form?
Database management system.
Yes, very good. So let us continue. Where is this? Just a minute. Huh? Okay. So in the chapter 1, we are going to learn database and its users. Fine.
Ma'am, the screen is not visible.
Is it visible now?
No, ma'am.
Hmm?
Ma'am, it's visible now.
Yes. Okay. So let us first understand what do you mean by database. We have been hearing this term frequently. So first of all, let us understand what exactly is this database and where does it lie in our application programs. So you people might have seen real-time application anytime. For example, may it be okay. Everybody has tried to book a seat, a railway reservation or flight reservation anytime. If not all, at least some of you. Yes, somebody should respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So when
Yes,
you have,
ma'am.
so, or okay, fine. Forget about reservation system. Online shopping, everybody has done, right? So in online shopping, what is visible to you is the page wherein you will see the pictures, that is the images and the information about that. And then you may see the price details as well. And when you'll go for shopping, there will be options like add to cart or maybe add to like, etc. Fine. Suppose when you add to cart and then go for payment, like after you have added the things to cart, you want to go for payment. Once you click on payment, then maybe it asks you your address and then phone number, etc. And then automatically either you can pay online or you may pay it by cash on delivery mode. So when you do that, okay, many of the times you don't go for shopping at the same, or you can say at one stretch. You may add to the cart and then you may want to continue later on. So if not, if you have not tried, at least try now. Of course, I'm not telling you that go for shopping and trouble your parents. Fine. Just to have an experience. Don't complete the transaction. Just do it halfway and then you may cancel the transaction as well. Just for trial or to see how the software is working. Go for online shopping. Fine. So when you'll open that page, you will understand how it tries to store your details. Like now suppose you have added the things to cart and then close the screen today. And tomorrow again you want to continue, so open that site. You will see how, I mean, that site has stored all your details, whatever things you have added to the cart, they will automatically again remain. In fact, most of the times it also uh, the websites have other added features as well that we will discuss later. But right now let us continue with the shopping cart itself. So the shopping cart is saved for you, and tomorrow when you log in, the same things whatever you have added to the shopping cart previously, they continue to exist. How does it happen? How does it happen? And is everyone's shopping cart visible to everybody? Like today,
No,
suppose,
ma'am.
yeah, Shraddha tried to purchase something and that is visible to Manisha as well. Does it happen anytime? No. So until and unless you have logged on, your details will be, or your shopping cart will be visible only to you. How does it happen? Can you imagine and tell what exactly happens in the background? Okay. Again, to give you
The
one more
data is
example.
stored.
Yeah, very good. So to give you one more example, when you go to library and you try to see issue a book, or you want to see which all books you have issued, so that time when you they will try to put your id there. When they will put, or they take your id card and they scan, right? When they scan your ID card, the books against your name will automatically appear there. Or when you try to issue the book, automatically once they scan your ID, the book is added to your library account itself. So what exactly has happened in the library? In the library, automatically in the background, it creates a kind of database. So what exactly is the database? It's a place wherein all your details are stored. How they are stored? They are stored in the form of a table, and then uh, that table will store each of the students' details separately. So if it is Sanjeev's account, it will store only Sanjeev's library ID and then the books issued for him. So that details are stored. So again, when you issue or when you try to log in through another library card, the in the same table, it creates another row, and then the details of, for example, maybe it is Shraddha or maybe some other person, it creates automatically the row for that, and the details get added. So this is what is nothing but database. So there are two things. One is there is a screen or the interface. So can you see the cursor here? Yeah. There is a screen or interface. Let me use annotations. Okay, here you can see. So there is an interface which interacts with you. Like whenever you will see, if you take the shopping cart example, when you will see the images, the web page, and then uh, you can say the price list or details of that, it is shown through an interface. And when you submit your shopping cart or when you add the things to your shopping cart, the information actually it doesn't get stored on the interface, because interface is common for all the people to observe. It goes in the background and it gets stored. So this is sometimes in natural language they call it as backend. So there are two things, front end and back end. What is front end? Front end are the interfaces which interact with you people. They are normally very attractive, colorful, and you will be able to see. Any user may be able to see the interface. That is called as front end. And backend is something which is there. I mean, you can see your own inbox, you can see your own shopping cart details, you can see your own library account details, etc. But whenever you select for it, normally it will be stored in the background. So that is called as backend. Fine. So database lies at the backend. Now, okay, let us see technically, in the sense, let us see in the software point of view. So there will be two different categories of software which are used to prepare this interface as well as the database. So that means there are different category of software which work at front end, and there are different category of software which work at the back end. So what are the kinds of software which are used in the front end? Examples are Visual Basic, .NET. Earlier it was there in your syllabus. Now it is not there. Then you have Dreamweaver, you have HTML, then you have even in advanced Java, whatever Swing and all we are going to learn, that is used for interface designing. And then when the details are stored in the background, not in the form of a variable, remember, storing the details in the form of a variable and normal file is different than the database. How it is different, that we will see slowly. But remember that there are different specialized kind of software which are used to create this backend, which is called as database. And the example of such software are Oracle, SQL Server, and MS Access. Note down the software which are used for backend. Front end, they will not ask you. Backend is important. Which are the software or which are the DBMS software which are available in the market? Everybody is noting down. The examples of such software are Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, MS Access, These are simple examples. Other than that, there are other uh, software too. So this will be a most frequently asked question. When they ask you what is database, data DBMS, you should be writing the examples of this DBMS software. Clear? Okay, now let us see what exactly is backend. Now, what is area of our interest is backend. Okay. To know it better, first of all, let us understand the role of these two. That is, what is the role of front end and what is the role of backend. What is the role of front end here? Can you see on the slide? What are the
Yes, ma'am.
what are the functions of front end?
Sends request, performs validation.
Yeah, sending request means it is asking for some information. Like for example, when you open your inbox, email box. So when you log in as your username and password, it is nothing but you are sending a request. So request for login. That means when you send a request for login, the front end just sends, and in the back end what happens, it accepts the request and then it shows you the stored data. Now let us see what are the functions of backend. What are the functions of backend?
Store the data,
Take care of
processing.
Data processing. Fine. So in short, let us see, it stores the data. Fine. And upon request of the front end, the stored data is fetched and then it will be given to the front end. So user normally interacts through front end. It doesn't directly go to the back end until and unless he is a programmer. Fine. Now remember, there are different types of users. Users in the sense the one who are trying to use this application. So you, if you wouldn't study this database management system subject, or if you're not from the technical background, you will be able to see is only front end. So anybody, when you try to do online shopping, etc., what you'll see is only front end. Nobody will be able to see the back end. It is protected. Why? Because the data is very, very secure. Everybody cannot be given an access. Now, especially in this subject, you are going to see backend. That is because you will be creating your own applications, and then you will be creating your own databases, etc. So because you are programmers or designers, you will be able to see the backend. So normally backend is hidden and it is secure, protected. It will not be visible to everybody. Fine. So have you understood what is front end and back end clearly now?
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah, let us go ahead further. So what we are going to first see first is databases, why computerized, then move to spreadsheets, then database models and database design. Now, first of all, as you know, even before computerization, database existed in the sense, take the example of your library itself. Now, everything is automated in your library that when the library card is scanned, the books are visible to you. You know, other than scanning, I don't know how it happens for you people. When you issue the book, do they note down even in the register for you people and they make you sign?
No,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No, na, in our
No.
library it doesn't happen because everything is automated, it is computerized. Now, but for faculty members, they do both. I mean, they issue through software as well, and also they make a sign in the register. The reason may be because we can issue more number of books. Like at a time, I can even issue 20 books, 25 books, etc. And maybe in the verification, sometimes the person who might have issued the book and he has not returned, and then he may say that, okay, there may be some technical problem, etc. And there is no procedure of signing in the software, right? The taker's confirmation is not there in the system. So maybe for that they maintain a register wherein when we issue the book, our signatures are there. So we can't deny the fact that, okay, no, I had not issued this. You can't say that because your signature is there. Fine. So to do that, still they continue with the registers. So what are these registers? Now how that register will look like? That register will look like, it will have like for example my library ID, then it will be there, and in front of my library ID I will see the books which the date is there, date of issue, then the title of the book, and then mm, who had issued, even that library persons, whoever may be there. There are many people, right? Shital madam is there, Smita madam is there, Gadat sir is there, Minakshi ma'am is there. So their signatures will be there, and then plus your signature when you issue the book. So all these things, and then plus additional remarks also, there is a place to write. So this register, which is manually maintained, even acts like a database. So now can you see what is mean by a database here? So database is nothing but it is like a table. Now forget about computerized database. I am talking in general. Fine. So in general, the database may look like this in the form of a table, wherein you will have rows and columns. Something like this. Find date of issue, so serial number, then date of issue, maybe the details of the book, and then who has issued it, and then your signature. Fine. So all this information for one book, one row may be used. When you issue another book, that information will be stored in another row, etc. So like this, in the same register or maybe on that same page, your book's details are stored one below the other in the form of rows. So table is nothing but which is made up of rows and columns. So vertical things are columns and horizontal things are called as rows, isn't it? So before computerization also databases exist. You know that most of the information when it is stored, it is not stored in the form of essays. It is stored in the form of tables. Take the example of government offices. Take the example of library management system. Maybe it is a billing system. You go to any shopping mall, etc., or go to any particular thing, like go to library. Everywhere the information is stored not in the form of file, it is stored in the form of table. So tables are nothing but databases. So before computerization, the process was manual, which had disadvantages like slow, and there could be human error. Fine. Because human being, maybe when it is tired, when he is tired, or alert, when he is not alert, there may be some mistakes like that. Fine. Even your what you can say, progress cards or your mark list, earlier everything was manual. Fine, we had to write, and then that was like handwritten card was given to the students. Now everything is computerized. Fine. So before computerization, databases existed, but they were slow and included errors. So later on, what happened? Obviously, after computerization, computers are faster with repeated jobs, performing the same task without errors. So it looked the same report card, which was earlier manual, now it looked after computerization something like this. And with different roll numbers, you can see different details like this. Fine. Can you see in the picture here at the right side? Yeah. Now, then when the information is computerized, earlier there were not sophisticated or specialized software, databases were not there. So that time they used certain kind of software like spreadsheet. So what is spreadsheet? Everybody knows MS Excel. You have learned it in your first year, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so Excel also is made up of rows and columns like this, and you can store the details one below the other. So Excel provided you huge amount of details. How many rows does Excel sheet has? Can anyone tell how many rows are there in one sheet? Approximately
20.
No, it is visible as 20. But if you will open Excel, and you should know, huh, because you have learned Excel, you should know it is beyond 1 lakh. On one page itself, on one sheet, you will have more than 1 lakh rows, and columns are also, earlier they were 255, but now again there are around, there are more number of, with the latest version. Fine. So like this, there will be one page, and similarly, you can go on adding. Earlier, there were 255 sheets you can add in one book. Anyway, I'm not here to teach you spreadsheet now. So spreadsheet also gave you huge amount of data, space to store your details. It also helped in performing even complex calculations, and you can even provide statistics like charts you can generate, you can calculate frequency, and any formula you can apply. Fine, it can store, but the disadvantage was it stored only limited amount of data. So limited amount, you may wonder again, when it provides you more than 1 lakh rows, how can you say it is only limited? Now imagine a kind of software like your Gmail. Most of you have your Gmail accounts, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So can you tell me how many files may be there in your inbox? Manisha, approximately how many files are there in your inbox?
More than hundreds or thousands, I guess.
Yeah, more than 1,000. And then how many users can you imagine? How many users might be using Gmail?
Millions and billions.
Yeah. Yeah. So when many users are using and multiplied by their own files, like even you are a student, your files are like more than 1,000. So imagine people who are corporates, who are doing usual, so many things, like people are into stock exchange, people are into so many businesses at a time, and every day they are getting emails. So many emails like that, millions and trillions of people are using, and everybody's inbox is so huge. So can Gmail store all these details on spreadsheet?
No, ma'am.
So such huge, so when you compare such huge data, then it says that the spreadsheets are limited when you think about this. So that's why next, when the software got evolved, so specialized software called as DBMS or databases came into picture. So how does DBMS solve this problem? It takes care of complex calculations, even more complex than your Excel. Then it also allows you sorting. Additionally, it also provides you security. Like in case of Excel, anybody can open a file. Okay, if you put a password, the person who knows the password can open a file. But then there is no sophisticated security features like in DBMS. There are different levels of users. Like, okay, I can give you one example. Suppose you have your mark sheet, your attendance data like Canbro and all. We used to send your attendance details to your parents. So as a student, you can see only your attendance. You can only see your attendance. You can't modify it. As a teacher, I can modify attendance in my subject only. Can I modify attendance in some other subject? Like if it is computer networks, can I modify the details in that? No, that software will allow me. Being a teacher, I can't access other teachers' subjects. I can access only my teacher. When you go to advanced level like HOD level or admin level login, when you log in through that, their account, that time you can see everybody's details. You can modify, you can add a student, you can delete a student. Yeah, being a teacher, I can't even add any new student. I can't delete. I can't say that, okay, I don't like this student, so let me delete it. Or I can't say, okay, I like this student, so let me add it, even though he's not in my division. In other divisions, let me add that student because I like that student. Yeah, I can't do that. So for a student login, there is very, very limited accessibility. That is, you can only see your marks. Being a teacher, I can add only my subject marks, or I can't add new students, or I can't delete or modify any student details. Being admin, I have all the you can say facilities. I can do everything, adding a student, deleting. Even the admin can add teachers and delete teachers for various subjects. So all these things in different roles, there are different levels of security you can apply when you use database management software. So DBMS has very, you can say, sophisticated way of providing security or protection to your data. So understood, this is the main advantages stage of DBMS. Clear? So this is how databases, computerized databases came into picture, which provided huge amount of space for your data. It provided ways of calculating and analyzing your data, and additionally, it also provided security. Clear with that? Yes, everybody is clear about what is
Yes, ma'am.
database? Yeah, but of course, it
Yes,
doesn't
ma'am.
give an answer, textbook answer or textbook definition. I have not discussed yet. So let me start with this slide. Fine. So the first is, what is a database? It's a collection of huge collection of related data. Fine. What is data? You know, data is unprocessed facts. So data is any raw material to the information. Information is meaningful data which is after processing. So data is defined as known facts that can be recorded and have an implicit meaning. That means it has some meaning. Like for example, when you take some numbers in the cricket match, what do those numbers indicate? Either the number of balls, or it could be either the number of runs, or it could be number of overs, isn't it? So those numbers have different meaning. Same numbers when they are put into result sheet, can you say Sanjeev has uh, scored these many runs? No. When it comes to marks card, Sanjeev will score the marks, not the runs, isn't it? So here, the same numbers when they are put in mark sheet, they represent marks. Same numbers when they are put in cricket score, it may represent number of balls or number of, you can say, the runs scored, etc. Clear? So every data, when it is compared or when it is put in a particular case study, it has its own implicit meaning. Next, what do you mean by a mini world? Many of the times these definitions, of course, not these are not directly asked in exam, but sometimes maybe these are also asked in exam. What is database and what is data, etc. But I will tell you of the frequently asked question. Now let us talk about mini world. Mini world is like the world is very big. Okay, it is very vast. It has so many countries and so many places, so many people, isn't it? What do you mean by mini world? When you talk about database as a problem to be solved, so you are learning database, you're going to learn database. Now suppose you want to create one application like library management system. So when you think about library management system, are you thinking about the entire world's library? No, you can't prepare a software for the entire world's library. It will be, I mean, beyond your capacity, isn't it? So you will restrict your own case study to one small area. Like for example, you are going to design a library management system for Gokte College of Commerce. So that, or you can say BCA department. So that becomes your mini world, which will have only the students of Gokte BCA. If any other student you try to add, your application will deny those. Is that clear? So this is how mini world means some part of the real world about which data is stored in a database. Clear? So this was, some small introduction about what is database and how before computerization, how the data was stored manually and then into spreadsheet, and then what came into picture was the actual computerized databases. And we saw these three definitions. With this, let us stop now. All of you enter your attendance in chat box with your roll number and name. Any doubt you have, parallelly you can ask. Who is 387? $387. Okay, Varda, how are you now?
Fine, ma'am.
Yeah. How is everybody? Family members and all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, everybody is maintaining your health.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
What do you do usually? Whole day, what you people will be doing? Yes? Anyway, I'm not complaining or I'm not taking your interview here. I'm just asking out of curiosity. How do you spend your time? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Who is that? It looks very virtual. Can you on your videos? Of course, not all. Maybe few people. I can't see. See, slowly I got acquainted to your batch students. I still may not know each one of you by your faces. So slowly maybe I'll be able to see after your exam, maybe I could see individual students. Anyways, so slowly I'll come to know. Pragya Sharma, can you on your video?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to
Yes,
see.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Wait a second.
Okay, okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, sometimes like I get confused between names. So let me get acquainted to you people. Anyway, it's time up now. Everybody has given you attendance.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.